Testing 1 2 1 2 live and direct. It's your brother, Sarim Kar, ETE Imhotep, Sini Sinet, Uncle Jasineb, Uncle Astejed, and Wakanda Forever. Of course, y'all know what it is. Doing this cast here concerning the Black Panther movie. As a comic book collector, for some time, for years, actually, my stepfather put me onto comics as a child. And I have Black Panther #1 and Jungle Comics, and I have Fantastic Four #52, the real one, and the reprint. And I just went and we picked up Killmonger. Yeah, we picked up Panther. We picked them up, right? And of course, you know we got to get our sisters in there, man. I had to pick up Lil Shuri. You know what it is. Support your peeps. But anyway, as we get down to business concerning the situation, I'm seeing a lot of videos. Don't go see Black Panther. You seeing them too. You see it with me. We here, right? So when you see this buffoonery, I'm not going to use the C word tonight. When you see this buffoonery, I want you to completely ignore it. I want you to completely look at that individual as someone who we used to describe as a crab in a bucket. Someone who doesn't want you or anyone like you to have anything of well-doing or well-being. The reason I say such a statement is because all of a sudden, oh, boycott Hollywood, boycott Netflix. Monique, love you, Monique. You know, my man Ryan is one of her close friends, a comedian who works with her. So shout out to Monique. The truth is, they did offer you $500,000, Monique, which is not a lot for a woman of your caliber and stature. But all you have to do is say no. Doesn't mean Netflix is bad. It means that independent producer of that Netflix show may only have that much in the budget, or that particular Netflix producer doesn't value you like we value you. So you have the right to say no. It doesn't mean go boycott Netflix. Why would we do that? Huh? They just produced Cage. I see Sarnetta doing a show just like this one right now. But the point is this. Even I'm hearing Vivica A. Fox talking about boycotting Black Panther, right? Vivica, why would you boycott the Black Panther, sis? Huh? I really need to talk to you, Vivica. If y'all don't know who I'm talking about here, this is Vivica A. Fox. This is our sister right here. Right? Why would you, of all people, say boycott the Black Panther when you played a sister in Kill Bill named Vernita Green? Vernita Green. And you got killed off in the very first movie. You got knocked off first. You was the first one she came at. So typical, stereotypical role in that flick, right? So it makes no sense when they tell you to boycott Black Panther, right? Because all of these people telling you to boycott Black Panther can quote some other type of Hollywood film. How are you quoting Hollywood films if we're supposed to boycott Black Panther? How much sense do you make? All of a sudden they give an African lead the role. You don't want to go see the movie? Huh? They got the co-star, all the stars. Now you don't want to go see it. Now you got a problem with it. Now you don't know how to act. And I'm gonna be honest, because I've seen the movie. I've just seen the movie. The movie has a conversation that we need to have as African Americans. About 6 of them in particular, from addressing why you're not in Africa now, from addressing young Black children in America, from addressing methods that we go about making money, from addressing your questioning of leadership when it's with you and it's a good-natured cause. Man, that was a good movie. My favorite movie is Shaka Zulu. I think maybe Conan is my second. Remember, I'm a warrior. I used to prize fight. And then after that, I get into some other films, right? I get into a lot of other films. But when it comes to action, again, Shaka Zulu was my favorite. And this movie, this one right here, this kind of had me teary-eyed in there for a while, just because it had been so long since I've been to the screen. I grew up in that Boomerang era, that Coming to America era. So we was at the theater seeing that, stuff of that nature. But seeing this on the screen in that fashion, not being a comedy and really getting down to business, that was, that was fly. Shout out to Coogler. Shout out to Chadwick Boseman. Shout out to all my ladies on the set. I'm about to watch one on The Walking Dead in a few. Shuri was dope. Whole cast was dope. Nyong'o was dope. She was with it. The whole thing was spectacular, man. Michael B was, I'm saying? That thing was incredible. Make sure you better go see it, right? And any friend talking, we should boycott that movie. I see this in it. I see that in it. Make sure they don't quote any Hollywood films. Soon as they start talking with that, bring Hollywood home, cut them off. Say, shut up. You banned from Regal Cinema, Playboy. You banned from Regal Cinema. Because if the attempt is to shut Hollywood down, you've been ignoring that for all movies before. Now you have yourself on screen and you don't want to go see yourself. As if you was going to shut Hollywood down by yourself anyway. Fools. Foolhardy. Let me also give you some history, right? You have to remember, Black Panther was started by 2 Jewish gentlemen, Stan Lee and Jack Kirby. Both of these gentlemen put this together during the time of the Civil Rights Movement. Purposely. To give us a voice during that time frame. They also wrote comics against Hitler because they were Jewish, obviously, right? So for my Hebrew Israelites, this is your side of the coin. This is really your side of the coin. Before I get into the movie, without throwing any spoilers, there are no spoilers in here for anybody who's nervous about that. I might edit the title, I may not. Just come get in the mix, right? So when we talk about who wrote this and why, it was for that time. It's for that time, right? This is in the 60s, 1966. Yep. Fantastic 452, which I have, and I'm not that old, but I got it later in my years, some time ago. Not recently, some time ago. So this particular character was Marvel's way of giving back to the civil rights. And if you don't know, you see this character right here? This is the original concept. This is called the Cold Tiger. A lot of you never heard of the Cold Tiger, right? And to give you a little breakdown, T'Chaka and T'Challa, or not T'Challa, but T'Chaka and the uncle of Black Panther used to play this character first, right? They used to show him in this particular character, right? And if you've never seen the Cold Tiger, this is his old comic. This is his old comic. He came to get busy. He came to get busy. And they switched this moniker later to this one. You see T'Chaka playing Cold Tiger. Cold Tiger, the son of the Black Panther. Right? That's the, come on, man. They're giving you that right there. And that was then. This is, you know, this is the first moniker. This is what Jack Kirby initially drew. And that turns into the Panther later, right? So eventually we go to the Black Panther moniker. And you end up with the father passing away, and they gave the son the mantle. We end up with this later. It's a quick history for you who are not really into comic books, but are wondering why everyone's clamoring to see this movie. So this movie, this artist was made for civil rights. You know, not everything other cultures do is bad. You put it that way, right? So, because some of you guys are out of your minds, right? So you have a civil rights character you want to boycott because Hollywood's going to get some money. You have a black director, Ryan Coogler, who directed, put his heart into that movie, and I felt it because the movie has a portion in Oakland, right? Has a portion in Oakland, California. There's no spoiler there. And he I'm telling you, when you watch Killmonger in the end, and he makes a statement about being from Oakland and an Oakland child never being, you know, have never been to never thinking he would get, you know, from out of, you know, the Oakland streets, right? It's yo, you're heartfelt about that. There's several kids out here who have never been to Africa, right? And your parents probably won't take you because they may be scared to go because they watch too much CNN, Fox 31. So the picture of the continent has been tarnished for you. It's been tarnished for you. And you have to work on getting it back. You have to work on getting the real visuals back. Now I'm going to get to the movie a little bit, and we'll talk the why, right? Let me tell you, when it comes to chains getting all in the way. When it comes to movies, if you are about stopping Hollywood, I'd expect you have no films, no DVDs, none of that in your home, right? I don't want to hear you quoting anything about any movie, especially if it's not African genre, right? So if it's not a Bill Cosby, a Sidney Poitier, you know what I'm saying? I better not hear you quote no Danny Glover. I better not hear you quote no Django. I definitely better not hear you talking about 12 Years a Slave and none of that stuff like that, right? None of that stuff should come out your mouth because you brought Hollywood home. But you want to boycott this one, fool. Oh, the Avengers was great. The Captain America and Iron Man, and now we got the Panther. Now you want to boycott. Stop listening to dummies. Real talk. Stop listening two dummies. I bet none of them have a Nollywood film in their home. I bet you they don't. I bet you none of them have any of the Ghanaian films in their home. I bet you they don't. I tell you what I'm gonna do. Hold up, I'm gonna show you what real support looks like. Hold on one sec. Give me 2 seconds, right? Give me 2 seconds because this is ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Ridiculous, ridiculous, ridiculous. Let me see. Let me see real fast. Hold up, y'all. Here I come. Here I come. I just wanna show you what it really looks like, right? Here go one. Here I come. Hold up. I'm coming. Hold up. Almost there. That's okay. That's okay. I thought it's in there. I'll dig it up before the show, and that's what we'll do. Let me go back. It's my favorite joint. My favorite joint. Shaka Zulu, Henry Seeley, Dudu Makazi. Where's those? At your house. At your house. Because all these dudes, they can quote Matrix. They can quote all this other stuff. You see them talking about it. You ever seen these dudes talking about Neo and the Matrix? How you quote Matrix if we boycotting Hollywood? Huh? You don't know, do you? None of us know. You know why? Because you ain't been boycotting Hollywood. So knock it off. Now all of a sudden you want to make a stir. And let me be candid. You better go see this one because the discussion that takes place between the actors and the actions on the film will cover everything from violence in Africa, from violence against your own people, from being honorable, from raising a child, from when a prodigal son comes home, from when all of that is touched on. It's touched on from keeping problems in-house, keeping them in-house and dealing with them on your own. You understand what I'm saying? All of that's dealt with. All of that's visualized and talked about and dealt with. But you want to boycott this one. I bet you they go see the next Avengers movie, though. I bet you money that. I bet you money they at that. We'll see that last Avengers was like this. That's how they're going to be talking about it. And as soon as they do, any of them who said don't go see this movie, anybody who said that, as soon as they start talking about another Hollywood film, make sure you turn away from them. Period. Just turn away from them. Right? This film deals with the disconnect between Africa and America, or the disconnect between Africa and another country that has Africans there. Right? And then it also did something that I'm sure the European viewers will notice. It took some pot shots at y'all, didn't it? Took some pot shots at our European brothers and sisters. And it did it very tastefully. And I say that not to disrespect or disregard your feelings, but I did that to let you know, when you make stuff like, when you put the African people, the black programs in Tron, remember the movie Tron? And the new Tron. Little dudes out, primitives. Remember that little blide disk y'all tried to do to the black programs as if they were the old, like they were floppy disk, not up to date with a USB port or something. These start to talk to you. These start to talk to you. Right? I know if y'all went to the theater already, when those jokes came up, you felt a little uncomfortable. Don't feel too uncomfortable. Don't feel too uncomfortable, right? Because we had to sit through the theater during these same situations when you did them to us, right? So if you don't like it, don't do it. And then they won't come back to harp against you. They won't come back to bite you, right? So think about those things before you do them. And then we don't have to pot shot back, right? You know, Bollywood, you've been doing it. You've been doing it. Keep it a buck. Right? So when you guys start to do stuff like that, and then we start to take, you know, we start to take we use the temerity and do the same thing to you, don't be mad. Don't be mad. Deal with it, because we've been dealing with it for a long time, right? And they were just pot shots just to let you know, hey, we've been watching this. We've been watching this stuff happen. We at the movies just like y'all. We make a movie go #1, right? Real quick. Real quick. But, you know, that's just letting you know we all in the fold. We all here together, you know? So if you do this, especially when he's giving his speech, you know, it's time to unify, right? And if we're going to consider certain things funny, make sure you feel they're funny around the whole board, right? Make sure you feel they're funny around the whole board. The other thing, brothers and sisters are going to the theaters in different African attire, different you know, the main, a lot of people say the dashiki. Some of it's just traditional African wear, or it could be Lily from Ghana. It could be so-and-so from this clan. It could be, right? I have something from Okesha, fly as ever, I'm telling you. But as we go and we do our due diligence and we want to get regal, don't hate. Don't hate. Because we see you Star Wars, and how many Chewbacca's you count in the Star Wars movie opening, right? How many Han Solos and Princess Leia's, right? Or even in the Avengers film, how many Iron Mans and Captain Americas? You cosplay. We just came out regal. We got fly with it. Our character was a little more blah. You're going to start to see Wakanda jerseys and stuff at the Avengers shows. It is what it is. It's cosplay. Don't be hating on us. And if you black and you hating on us, you a fool. You a fool. And this is the movie you better go take them to see, because none of you showed your children this. Hardly. I made my son sit down and watch. Watch. I said, watch, boy. I tell you, he know what it was. You know. He chose his own path in life. But guess what he had to do? Sit down and watch, pay close attention, right? And the reverence to your ancestors, as I've been talking about for years, and others have as well. They've been a little more closed doored about it until recently. I'm like, yeah, I venerate my ancestors. What's wrong with you? Who you hold up? I don't know what you hold up on the mantle. I'm telling you what I hold up. So make sure you go see the movie. It's absolutely awesome. Could be the best film ever. I ain't gonna lie to you. It was like that. It was like that, yo. That film was good. It wasn't just a good Marvel film. It was such a dramatic film. It could be the best film ever. Could be the best film ever. The fight scenes were epic. The relationship building in there was epic. And the dramatics, the effect. I thought it was going to be more Thor Ragnarokish, because Thor is my joint, yo. I like that Thor series, but it was more compelling. Like, it was very compelling, and it's not just because I'm black. It just was a more compelling movie. I bet you the next Avengers movie will be super compelling after that, because you have a lot to top after that. Not just because it's me and you have a lot to top. Coogler set the bar high. And I thought Creed was a good movie. I didn't think it was a great movie. Thought it was a good movie. But it was a great movie, right? And because it was so great, there's shoes to fill. There's some shoes to fill, to say the least. When you go see that next Avengers movie, lower your bar. I'm gonna tell you right now, lower your bar. That first Iron Man movie I thought was absolutely classic. The first Spider-Man with Tobey Maguire was classic. Third Spider-Man was right. Amazing Spider-Man was pretty good with Jamie Foxx and the one he did before. And Homecoming was decent. Homecoming was pretty nice too. Some of the jokes didn't quite fit in Homecoming. It's kind of bland. Well, Peter, aren't you gonna? Okay. Not that funny. Wasn't that funny. So you got some work to do with the Spider-Man films. But as far as this Panther movie, you got some Marvel. The bar went up, right? You're gonna have to get Martin Scorsese or somebody. You're gonna have to get one of them classic directors to put this next Avengers film. Maybe you just need to get Coogler's mind frame concerning the Avengers film to add to it, the plot a little bit, not necessarily directed, but just add to the plot a little bit. Because this one was up there. This one was pretty good. And it's going to take a lot to fill those shoes or to top that movie. We just have to lower our stance concerning what we saw and what we may see in the future. The Avengers have been good, and their movies hold up to that one. But that one right there, man, when you went home with Thor, some compelling moments. Some compelling moments. When Odin kicks him out of Asgard, sends him to Earth. You can't pick up this, took off his, stripped him down. He's like, yo, you can't have none of this. All this is honor and you're unhonorable. That's a real father-son conversation, right? That's a compelling moment. But when it came to the Panthers joint, the conversation was just a little more surreal, right? I don't know if it's going to be hard. Like, that movie could win Oscars. Thor could win your acceptance and excitement about another Avengers movie. It's a good flick, right? Um, uh, Iron Man can do something like that. First Iron Man was pretty good, yo. You know, second one was cool. Second one was clean. It was nice. Third one was okay. It was all right. You know, we went along for the ride because we love the superhero movies now. But man, what we just saw tonight, this Panther flick, Wakanda forever. Y'all know what it is. And any buffoons talking about boycott Hollywood, but always be talking about bring Hollywood home. Turn them off. That's the crab in the bucket. That's the bucket. See the I'm out, and he pull you right back down. Pulls you right back down. He's foolhardy. You know, he somebody like that probably has a problem with their own culture or their own persona. Something is ailing them. They don't want to see you come up, right? They don't want to see you in any success stories. You rage against the machine until the machine looks like you, and then all of a sudden, you know, you right. So disregard people of that nature and of that psyche and of that mindset. Make sure you take your children to go see this movie. Man, I seen so many European kiddos in there. They was loving it. They they were loving it. So, you know, quick rant, just so you know what to expect when you go there. So you know how to deal with these characters who keep bumping their gums about how, you know, you shouldn't see this, you shouldn't see that, etc., etc. Know a buffoon when you see one, right? Know a buffoon when you see one. And if any of them dudes quote any Hollywood story, if any of them quote Samuel Jackson, Pulp Fiction, any of them quote Pulp Fiction, any of them quote Django, 12 Years a Slave, Nat Turner, etc., etc., ignore them. Turn them off. They on YouTube, turn them off. If they're they're next to you bumping their gums, go in their mouth. Like, shh, pipe down. Shh, pipe down, Mr. Boycott Hollywood. Tell them knock it off. Real talk. Uncle Josh and Ev. Till we see each other again.